The oldest thread I could find on this goes back to 2006.
Is it whether to use steam, electricity, or that newfangled liquid thing called petrol?
No, we're gonna save that for another week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and just throw hydrogen in there to see how it reacts.
Obviously everyone knows
explosive results.
Steam is the one.
Steam's the one. Welcome back to the Gassing Station, powered by Michelin, the podcast that goes sifting through the haystack that is the Pistonheads forums for juicy needles. I'm your host, Cam Tate, and joining me once again is John Howe. How are you doing, John?
Have you run out of ideas on how to introduce this podcast, and we're only on episode 4?
I'm really struggling to come up with different ways.
What on earth was all that? I've been sifting through haystacks to find the... Have you been looking at the Pistonheads website through the forums?
That's correct.
And the car listings and the auction listings?
Absolutely what the whole point of it was, yes.
I'll introduce this properly. Welcome to the Pistonheads podcast, episode number 4, where we've been looking at the forums, the ads and the auction listings for interesting things.
Absolutely, yes.
See, you can just make things simple by saying things simply.
But it's not quite as jovial or fun. But yes, I have been looking through the auctions, and it looks like you have been as well.
I have. And do you know what I found?
Go on.
You know I like an E39 M5.
I do know you like an E, but who doesn't like an E39 M5? They are sublime.
But I feel like I'm allowed to like them more because I had one.
It's true.
It's like I'm. It's like. It's like.
You're thinking of naughty things, aren't you?
No, but I don't. It's like everyone loves a child, but no one can love a child quite like the mother of the child or the father.
Oh, of course.
Of the child.
Yes. Yeah. Are you saying that you're the father of the E39 M5?
No, I'm just saying it's like that. It's like that. Special
parental connection that you have with the E39 M5.
Yeah. And it's like, yes, exactly. Yeah. So, but I did see one, and it does look lovely, and it's in, is it Ester or blue? No, I can't remember which blue it is. Doesn't matter. But it reminds me, actually, it did remind me of when I did the video for Pistonhead's YouTube channel all those years ago. Because
that was a great video.
It's a very similar spec to the car that is BMW's Heritage's car. BMW's Heritage car. That's the one.
It's Le Mans Blue, by the way.
Le Mans Blue, sorry. I always get Estoril Blue is the one they did for the M3.
It's a little lighter, yeah.
Sorry, I did know it's but I get confused.
Yeah, it's easy to do. I mean, they're both blue. But yeah, you did own one. What colour was yours?
Carbon black.
Oh, that's a good colour, because that's black with a hint of blue, isn't it?
It's sort
in the
of,
right
yes,
light.
Yeah. Kind of like a purple, I think purpley blue or something. Yes, but it's also, and it had the black Napa leather interior, black two-tone though.
Yeah.
Grey ostrich leather in the middle.
Yeah.
Got to have the grey ostrich. Has there ever been another car that had ostrich leather in it?
I don't, not that I'm aware of, no. That's something that you can definitely
I was
contact
expecting
us
you
about.
to go, well, yes, actually, there was a car. In 1974, there was a, whatever, I don't know.
Come on, John, you know me. When it gets to anything beyond the 90s, I'm completely useless. I'm useless at a lot of things, but that in particular.
I was talking about the M5 E39. Love, brilliant car. Just still one of those cars that you just think, things have improved subsequently, technically, no doubt about that. But did they need to?
Yeah.
Because is everything else just sort of fripperies and additions that we don't need? Yeah. Do we need anything faster than that in a saloon car? Not really. Just a simple car, lovely, but simple but beautifully engineered. I mean, not kind of basic. Beautifully engineered car that has a manual gearbox, very few alterations to the drive modes and all that sort of stuff.
Do you know what's... I don't think it's a particularly fun fact, but it is a fact that M5s traditionally don't have wider arches. So it looks like a 5 Series, but it's just a little bit meaned up. I think they changed that with the current M5. I think that's a little more blistered than before, but they're usually...
also hideous.
Not wider. It's you know what? I don't think it's nearly as bad as something like an X. When something like the XM exists, then it makes everything else look better. So I've not found it quite as bad. And also, editor Nick Cackett had the banana yellow one over Christmas. We did a shoot with that, had the Vantage, and when we were doing our favourite cars, and I actually thought it looked kind of call. John, I've realised I've made a catastrophic mistake here.
Oh, another one.
Yeah, another one. We're talking about auction cars that are probably going to be selling by the time that this goes
Doesn't
out
matter,
live.
though. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't because also...
Go back and have... There will always be something interesting on the... One thing you can
Precisely.
guarantee about the Pistonheads auction listings, and I'm not saying this to be a sycophant, but the fact is there will always be something. I mean, look, you're just scrolling through now.
It's good, honestly. I've got my dream
something.
car.
Look at that 7 Series. Look at that.
735i from 1982.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's always something. So
What a beautiful thing.
If we're talking about cars that are going to have sold, just go and have a look, because there's just for the interest. If you're not looking even to buy something, there's always something interesting on to go. Oh, I like that.
Do you know what I was going to say? There are 2 cars that I am obsessed with at the minute. One is a 1990 Lancia Delta HF Integrale, which I believe is a 16 valve, and it is. I want one so badly, but I think they're going to be out of touch for me for quite a long time. And then I realised that. Well, there's that. There's the E39 M5, which I really like the look of. There's an E63 AMG from 2007. There's an M5 Touring E61, a Toyota Supra twin turbo, an Alpina B5 V8 Touring. This is just a ridiculous mix of cars.
Hang on, we're missing something.
Oh, and there's... Okay. Oh, this one is absolutely going to have sold by the time this pod goes up. There's an Alpine A110 historic rally car from 1968. And good Lord, again, it's hard as a car person to say, my favourite car is this, because it changes every 2 seconds. But an A110 is absolutely in my top 5 favourite cars of all time. The original A110.
The original.
Yeah, beautiful.
Cam hates the current one.
I really like the current one.
So I just had to say that, because you're not allowed to say.
You can't. No,
you're not allowed to say
it's bad. But a bit like when you drive a Porsche for the first time, you kind of go like, oh, everybody says it's so good. Is it really that good? And my first Porsche that I drove was the 992 Turbo S. And I was like, oh, for God's sake, it is really good. And then I drove the A110.
That was the first Porsche
First Porsche I drove was a 992 Turbo, just as it came out.
Really?
Yeah. Still quite early in my career at that point. Yeah. So that was, I mean, and what a way to...
I'm not patronising you now.
Yeah.
Normally I go, it's because you're so young.
Yeah.
He is young, isn't he?
I mean, well, I would have been 26 at the time of driving it, I think. 26, 27. But anyway, but that... Well, I mean, what a way to start off. But the A110 was a very similar thing, where I was like, is it really as good as everyone says it is? And then you drive it and you go, oh, this is absolutely brilliant. But we're not here to talk about auctions that have already sold by the time that this podcast would go out. We've got a topic to sink our teeth into.
Have we?
Yes, exactly.
I actually don't know what this is.
Oh, well, I can't wait to surprise you, because Koenigsegg has reclaimed...
Yes, I did see this.
The 0 to 400 to 0 record again. If just to put that into English, that's 0 to 249 miles an hour to 0. There's so many records being broken at the minute, and to show how quickly records are tumbling, it was only a month ago that the Rimac Nevera R actually set the record for this. Did you?
I wrote about the Rimac.
Yeah.
About a month ago. As a news piece for Pistonheads, and then I did see that story come up yesterday, and I thought, hang on a minute, that's the repeated, that's something wrong there. And then I looked at it and I thought, oh no, it's Koenigsegg now. Yes, it felt very Groundhog Day.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, what's really balmy about it is the first record was held at 25.79 seconds, so that was the Nevera R. That is 0 to 249 miles an hour, back to 0. I love it or loathe it. It's seriously impressive. And then Koenigsegg comes along with the Jesko Absolute and then does a 25.21 second run, which is, it's a smidgen faster. But still, the interesting thing about this is ice versus electricity. 2 very different approaches to making a car go fast. And we kind of thought that EVs would completely wipe the floor with ice cars in a straight line, but no, Koenigsegg proving that they can do it. But is this something that we kind of care about, John? Is this something that makes you go, oh God, that's really impressive, or do you go, I'm never going to use that ever in my life?
Can I be honest?
Please do. That's why we pay you some bucks.
Look, I do really appreciate that both Rimac and Koenigsegg and also Hennessy, they've got people at the top who just, I don't want to sound too cliched and whatever, but it's almost like I had a dream. You know, I had a dream to build the best cars and they build amazing cars. And I like the engineering behind them. I like the enthusiasm, the real tangible enthusiasm that you can sense behind these people. But I just don't care about 0 to 400 and back again. It's almost like once it's been done in a reasonably quick time and then somebody beat it 6 months afterwards, it's like, okay, done. It just doesn't register. And I watched the video.
I think that's the tough thing of where if you look at some other records that we'll get to in a minute, a lot of the time there's a reference point of where you go like, this looks really fast, but when it's a straight line.
Yeah, you know when people sit there going about Nürburgring times?
Yes.
And there is a futility to that as well, right? Because from a production car point of view, do you really care? If it's a 992 and then the 991 was half a second or 3 minutes or whatever it might be, it doesn't really make any difference to how you drive that car. Or you're not going to probably necessarily appreciate that difference in time. But what you can appreciate when you watch a Nürburgring time is it's more of a human thing. It's the driver. When you get some really quick stuff and you see those drivers absolutely on the edge going through the various twists and turns of 12 miles of very dangerous forest road, basically, you sit there and think, that is amazing. And you're right, you have the context of the tree, even in the straights. Even when you're just going along in the straights, you've got the context of the trees whizzing by. But then obviously you've got the cornering, you can see the people working at the wheel.
Yeah.
I mean, I know this is not a record-breaking time, but one of the most fantastic, awe-inspiring things you can ever see is the yellow bird.
Oh, at the Nürburgring.
At the Nürburgring
Fascination
from the 1980,
at the
from 1980, whatever it is, with the white socks, I believe.
Oh, my goodness!
And just watching someone command a car with that level of oversteer and understeer, and just for miles and miles and miles. You look it's like every single corner. You're like crash, crash, but no, it doesn't. But whereas I watched the Rimac video, Koenigsegg video.
Yes, that's it.
And as impressive as it is, the engineering behind it, I think, is amazing. You watch a video of it, and it's... Here we go. Ooh, carries on, and then the event goes... Ooh, ooh.
Yes.
That was my impression.
I felt like we were in the room with the Koenigsegg.
If I could do that, with I could do a voiceover.
You could do. I think it would be completely pointless, but you could do it.
Well, they could ask me to dub it into English. The car, because this car's Swedish, so it talks. We
need that kind of translation.
The engine speaks in Swedish.
See, what they could do to make this look faster is obviously if they just put trees down the side of the runway, it would look so much quicker. The only problem is if you had a puncture of some kind, it would be quite a catastrophic accident. Or what you could do is just do lots of small little white lines.
I have it. No, I have it. What would make it...
Yeah?
Okay, we need to make this more interesting. We appreciate the engineering going on behind it. Amazing.
We are not a dig at Rimac or Koenigsegg
or any form of engineer that's involved in anything like this. It is amazing. This is the thing. It's not. We're trying to say, how do you bring this straight line performance to life?
Yeah,
I have it.
Go on.
At the end of it, you work out. So okay, these are all about 25 seconds, aren't they?
Yeah.
0 to 400 and back again.
That's right.
Okay, first to break that barrier, 24.9. We're going to build a wall. At that point, at 24.9, a reinforced...
So it's a literal drive to survive.
A reinforced concrete wall.
Yeah.
And then that's going to make it interesting. And you have to sit there and go... the driver has to sit in that car, accelerate from 0 to 400 and back again. And if it doesn't work,
that's worse. I was going to say Formula One.
I was going to say it's curtains, but that would sort of imply the curtain would open and they would just go through. No.
Precisely, yeah. It's an iron curtain. Yeah. That you would be smashing into.
We're also not generally
suggesting that this would be a good idea.
Yeah, and people should. But it's. I can't get the excitement. I can get the I can get an understanding of the excitement, but
Yeah.
I'm not excited.
Well,
That's
I've
the way
got
I
some
describe it.
potential records that might get you excited.
Go on then.
John, because 2025 has been a year of immense record breakery, and I've got one that I never knew even
Has it?
existed. Yeah, there's so many. And this one is Porsche taking the new Cayenne EV, which hasn't even been released yet, up the hill at Seshley Walsh. Oh, God, that's a hard word to say.
Isn't it
Shelsley Walsh. That's it.
Yeah. What did you say?
Seshley.
Seshley.
Up the hill at Shelsley Walsh to record a new SUV record, and it did so while pulling a historic car of some variety up the hill behind it to show just how powerful and fast a car towing is. Is this not exciting you?
Stop. No, not at all, because...
But it did it so quickly. It's
I'm going...
3,500 kilos.
Stop it. I don't care.
Uh-huh.
Do you know why I don't care?
Why not?
Was there even a record before that? Because that's like finding, what's the record for a pink and blue car with 14 people in it, on tyres filled with, I don't know, nitrogen, going up Arcadia Avenue at 7:15 at night? What's the record for that? It's like, there isn't one. So there isn't there was no record before that, surely. If I'm wrong, I apologise to everyone involved.
Okay.
But there wasn't a record.
Okay. There is some niche filling, because I think they may have also done something very similar with this. The Panamera breaking the Road Atlanta record, which was set also by the Panamera Turbo S. And you can't help but wonder, they set that record there because no one else had really done anything. It did a 131.5 lap.
I don't care.
Okay. Here's one that might be more of interest. It's the Hyundai Ioniq 5N TA claiming the Tsukuba EV record. This actually interests me. Do you know Tsukuba circuit in Japan? It's a very twisty, tight little circuit. Anyone who's played a video game in the last 25 years will know Tsukuba, because it's a staple of Gran Turismo.
It's not me.
This might not be your kind of thing, but it's very famously technical, and I quite like this because it's not this big sweeping Grand Prix circuit or anything like that. It's really small and technical, so the cars that are setting these lap times have to have massive wings, huge aero. This one actually has side skirts as well, so they're trying to suck it to the ground. You can see that right there. So it's an Ioniq 5N with this massive tray at the front, huge wing. That's cool.
I get that. I'd have to see. I think I'd have to see a lap to see how exciting. Because if it's too tight and twisty and a bit boring as a track, this is why for me the Nürburgring is the kind of, it's the gold standard. It's because while the manufacturer is setting a record potentially, the person driving that car is demonstrating not just incredible skill and concentration over the longest track in the world, effectively, but they're also risking their life, because some of these. Do you remember the one with the Porsche, the uncoupled kind of from FIA regulations?
Oh, I was going to bring that up. Yeah,
when
the
you
919
watch that,
Evo.
Yeah, when you watch that isn't just setting a record. It's somebody driving in a way you go, we talked about this, I can't do that. I wouldn't be able to do that, and I know I can't. Therefore, it immediately becomes more than the sum of its parts.
Okay, so just for a little bit of context on that, the AMG1 hypercar set the production record around the Nürburgring end of last year, and it did a 6:29 off the top of my head, 6:29 something. The 919 Evo drove around the Nordschleife in 5 minutes and 19 seconds.
That's crazy.
That is unreal. And that's kind of how I was going to say, this is what when we get to the kind of records that really blow your mind, for me it's, when you watch that on board, you go, how is that humanly possible?
Yeah.
How on earth have you been able to do that? You see it with McMurtry as well. We had the McMurtry Spearling at annual service. Tiny little thing. It's got these massive fans that suck it to the ground. And you see that go up Goodwood Hill. You've seen those record attempts of like Formula One cars going up the hill, or people with massively tuned Supras, and you go, oh, that's quite quick. And then you see the McMurtry do it, and you're like, you blink and you'll miss it. It's absolutely mind-blowing. They've also gone to Laguna Seca to go and do it too. But that's the kind of stuff that really gets me. And I find the production records at at the Nürburgring have become less significant because
I still enjoy I don't think there's ever it is about reference points, isn't it? It's like Baumgartner when he jumped out of...
jumped out
these
of the
things
balloon,
are... It's about human endeavour, both in technology and also in personal fortitude and the ability to overcome fear or just to despite the fear, just do something. That's what's impressive. And it's that combination that doesn't translate in a 0 to 400 back again time for me. And again, I know that they're risking a lot. I mean, you have a blowout or something, it's going to be really bad. I mean, I guess top speed runs fascinate me.
There's something very, I guess it's kind of, I don't want to say romantic, but it's that element of like, we just want that search for speed. And
yes,
it's raising the bar.
But the person, again, the bit of the fleshy thing inside, the idiot inside who's go and drive that at 250, 60 miles an hour. What, on normal tyres? Well, they've been specially developed. They should be all right.
But they're still rubber rings.
They're sort of prototypes.
Yeah.
We haven't actually done this yet. And you sit there, but we did it on a computer. And by the way, Michelin, very impressive, some of these tyres.
Yes.
It's like, yes, it's that when you actually see the person doing it, because they're always doing it on a banked circuit, because you can't do this at there's not straights long enough, and you're thinking, that's amazing. That is genuinely amazing, because you know that person sitting there thinking that tyre could go any minute. I'm doing, the thing, everything's clicking up now, mile an hour after mile an hour after mile an hour.
And the pressure in the tyres is changing as you're gaining pace. So your car is literally deforming at speed.
Didn't Tiffany Dell do it in the McLaren F1 and the tyres were basically shredding?
I think so. And I think on a Veyron, I might be wrong about this. I think on a Veyron, when they were doing the run, I think the car was essentially skipping over the road surface because you can't have something that's billiard table smooth.
Well,
so you're literally just little jumps.
Didn't Tiffany Dell do it at Millbrook?
Something insane.
Which is, and if I've got that wrong, apologies, but I have a feeling he did it at Millbrook. And of course, back then, the tyres, we're talking tyre technology. At least now, things really have moved on with tyres. Back then, tyre technology, there was nothing like it. Yeah. I mean, now there's loads of cars that do great speeds. Back then, there was nothing like the McLaren F1 that would go to 240 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And all right, I know they didn't do that at Millbrook because it's a banked circuit, but I've driven at Millbrook many times, and that is not a smooth. That's a concrete surface. It's quite heavily banked and not that smooth.
It is quite
especially when you get
as
to
well
that
if
speed.
you're going quickly.
And you're so close to the barrier at the top. Yeah. I mean, I've done 150, whatever, around there, and you feel when you're in the outside lane, you've got the arm code just 2 foot away from you, and you think, would that really hold me if I went off here? Because arm codes, when lorries go into them, they show you that thing of how they did. And
exactly.
Everything snaps off, but the arm code bends around and well, you're thinking, but there's nothing for it to bend around there. If it bends, I'm just going off because the edge of the track is where the arm code is, and it's like going off a ski slope.
I don't think it's to push you back into the circuit. I think it's to actually just send you really far off into to launch you into space.
Yeah. And so you disappear. And
exactly.
No, what car? What car flew off? No, didn't
crash on our property.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing there.
Yeah, that one crashed in Hertfordshire, not Bedfordshire.
But just to go back to the record breakers at the Nürburgring, there was something that actually cheesed me off a little bit recently, and I've come around to kind of liking it now, is, this Xiaomi SU7 Ultra? It's the...
Nope, never heard of it.
Okay. Well, it's a Chinese electric executive saloon that's just trounced the Porsche Taycan Turbo GT.
Is that?
Are you going to point out the 720S headlights?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also the slight likeness to the car that it's just completely trounced.
Right, okay.
The Taycan Turbo GT. But it kind of, and that was doing around 7 minute. They had a prototype that did it below 7 minutes. I think it was 6:49 by the looks of it. And it's like, oh my God, the electric cars have turned up and they're just annihilating. They're making a mockery of Nürburgring lap times because they're so unbelievably quick. But then you look at it and you go, well,
which is why
it's raising the bar.
But taking it back to then where we began this conversation, the 0 to 400 and back again. That is why it is impressive.
Yeah.
After saying it's not, I can't get the excitement. it is amazing that Christian Koenigsegg can stand up and say, we're doing this with internal combustion and two-wheel drive, while everyone else is effectively turning up the motor.
Yeah, exactly. They're like,
just
I think
twiddling a dial.
That's exactly how it works.
And he was when he was talking about doing it with, we've it's about how we release the clutch and how we do this and how we do that. It's quite complicated, isn't it? But
in your world of electronics and software development, it's literally an engineer going up and going like, oh, someone's left this on 6. We better turn it up to 6.5.
Exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. And then 6 months later, you come along and you say, let's turn it up to 7.
Yeah.
And then 7.5. And then, yeah.
I'd just rip it all the way up to 11. I'm going to leave you with one record that I think is going to excite you the most. The Aston Martin Vantage can lower its roof in 6.7 seconds and raise it in 6.8.
Wow.
Moving on.
Do you know what? I just had a thing. I've become too excited.
All right, John, shall we go and help someone buy a car?
Yes!
Yes! All right, so I've been having a look around the forums and I came across a post by a username of bennno, that's BENNO, and they have said, I'd like a classic, but can't think of anything that fits the bill. Welcome suggestions, brief as follows. So it has to be a classic or emerging classic.
I've got to listen this time. I've got to get everything.
You do, right? So it's a classic or an emerging classic. But one with modern usability. So in brackets, that's motorway driving, reliability, long distance use, etc. 2-seater or a 2+2.
Right.
Cabriolet ideally, but hardtop okay. Whether that means a hardtop folding roof or a coupe.
No.
We've gone for the latter.
You're 100%.
Precisely.
Normally I read too much into things. That means it can be a coupe hardtop, not a
good man. That's exactly what I'm going with. Yeah.
Or a convertible.
I like this one.
Cam's overcomplicating things.
I like this one though. 6+ cylinders, 3 litres plus, ideally more.
Excellent.
I love how I don't care how much power it produces. I just need more literage.
Basically, I just want more of everything.
More of everything.
Yeah. Cylinders, more.
Benno, we're here
Capacity,
for you.
more.
Ideally not too wide, as we've a lot of narrow lanes near us.
What's wide?
It doesn't have a particular width.
Don't worry about that, because all the cars I'm going to suggest will go through a width restriction. Therefore, hopefully they'll go down your narrow lane.
Believe it or not, we are here to help. Car's got to be used for holidays and as a weekend car. Two very different things, because a holiday, if you're going away somewhere, maybe you want lots of luggage. Are we talking a weekend holiday? Are we talking a... He wants a car. He wants to take away for I'm going to say take away for a weekend. So like a duffel bag can get into.
You're tired today, aren't you?
I am. I've spoken a lot this week.
He's overthinking things. Right. He just wants a car that's practical enough. He doesn't want the Valhalla that we were talking about with no luggage space.
Oh, I'd love that Valhalla.
Or an Atom. He just wants a car that's got some luggage space to go away for the weekend or maybe a long weekend.
Do you know what also they want? A car that has ideally largely depreciated and isn't going to be depreciating any further.
I've got it.
So he says, what suggestions do you have? And we just got to set the budget. £50,000 classic, as it's been put, the topic title. So here's what people are saying. CABC has come in straight away with an Alvis TX21. John, what's that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Matt21 says an E46 M3 CSL. Oh my God, I love... Yeah.
Are you going to get... they're not going to get... What?
You're probably going to struggle to find a CSL for sub 50, to be honest. They're north of that now.
Definitely. Aren't they more like 100?
No, not quite that. They're between 50 and 100, I think. So, but yeah, might be a bit out of budget.
Look for it. If you can find it, buy it, because it will be 100 in about 5 years' time.
God, I want an M3 CSL so badly. Stu the Mongoose said TVR Tuscan.
Stu the Mongoose?
Stu the Mongoose, yeah. TVR Tuscan, he says, not best known for reliability. Really? But I daily mine and I find the reliability generally acceptable. Touch his wood.
If you throw accusations like that around, you'll get yourself sued.
I'm going to run into trouble. And Blue Over Cream says, sounds like an Audi R8 would fit the bill nicely. And the first gen versions are also around 1,900 millimeters wide. Oh, good research. Or maybe a bit predictable, but from Porsche stable, you could get a nice Boxster 981 GTS.
Do you know what I've worked out? Every single one of these buyer's advice things we do, you could sort out with a Porsche Boxster,
yes,
or a Porsche Panamera.
Yes,
it's like just everything in there because both of them are old enough now to go from like 250,000 for a Boxster RS Spider or whatever it might be, right down to sort of $3,000 for the early ones. Same with the Panameras, you can buy really cheap early ones. So actually, every single week from now on, I'm just going to go Porsche Boxster or Porsche Panamera.
And we're literally going to go. People are just going to start calling us Porsche heads all the time,
but
and you won't believe
they've never
it.
done that though, have they?
Oh no! That's a name I've come up with straight away.
Is it? Yeah.
You won't believe this, John. I plugged all of the search criteria into the PH classifieds, and I'd say 90% of the cars that came up were a 996 turbo.
But look what's come
which
up
is,
there.
I know, we've got some other alternatives though.
That is rather nice.
Is that the SL that you've just seen? The 4.2, so it's managed to get just 218 horsepower from a 4.2 litre V8.
It doesn't matter.
But it looks marvellous. There's no chance that's depreciating anytime soon. £49,990, and it's in a green of some variety.
What is that? The W12? What? Because the thing is, people will need to know
They'll need to know the generation. So it's from 1989.
So the R107. Yeah.
R107, and it's got this kind of. Would you call that like a brown? It's like a maroony brown.
It's like a burgundy. It's a Jaguar Racing green, kind of darkish green, metallic. Oh no, it's even darker than Jaguar.
Moss green with Bordeaux leather.
With Bordeaux leather, that is a spec.
That is so
with flat face
lovely.
alloys.
God, we're agreeing straight away, aren't we?
Well, to be honest, I didn't realise. Is that one of your actual cars?
No, that's literally just one of the first things that came up. There's also a really nice TVR T350C. I know that's probably not the best reliability-wise, but there's some great specialists out there now to help you out with that sort of stuff. And TVRs are just great. I love driving a TVR.
I still want a Cerbera.
Cerbras are they've got really special engines in those. But Speed 6 is a great engine too. But what's kind of come across your radar, John?
Well, you always have a go at me for not taking this seriously.
Yes.
I have taken it seriously.
Go on. Oh, God. Okay, well, actually, what?
No, because I'm going to justify this.
Should we tell people what it is?
You can tell them.
It's listed as a General Motors Chevrolet Corvette C5 with an LS1 V8. So that's 5.7 litres of American muscle.
14,995. So if I've done this so brilliantly, I fulfilled it. This is going to fulfill every criteria. And it isn't, it kind of is. I saw it originally as, that's a bit of a joke one. But it isn't. When you think about it, it's
not going to depreciate any further.
It's a modern classic. It's built in the year 2000. That's 25 years old. That counts as modern classic. V8, 5.7 litres, more of everything.
Yeah.
The only thing I could do is make it a V12 or a V10. But it is 5.7 litres, and it's an LS1. That's a good engine. Mm-hmm. It's got push rods.
And at £14,995, that leaves you with £35,000. That's a year's worth of fuel.
Exactly. Well, 6 months. But it's so 79,000 miles. Not ridiculous. I mean, wasn't that engine? Was that the one that was able to run without any water in it?
I mean, I think these things are pretty much bulletproof because they don't produce a huge amount of power. That's been listed as 350. That's not too bad, actually.
But they did do the one that had the kind of, because it used to swap between banks, didn't it? It was designed that you could be in Death Valley and it would blow a hose.
Amazing.
Did you not know that?
I didn't know this. I do have a C5
They
Facto.
definitely did some engines around about that time that you could, because it's like run flat tyres. The idea is it could burst, and they were designed to run with no coolant, and they would just basically cool down one bank by pumping air up and down it, and then swap over to the next one. I think I've got that right. Not sure if it's on that one, but yes, it's a reliable. It should be a reliable V8.
Fun fact that's not nearly as fun as the one you just mentioned. The C5 Corvette is one of the last cars to be offered with pop-up headlights. Apparently, it's between this and the Lotus Esprit.
Didn't know that.
And I think production went on longer than the Esprit. I might be wrong, but I think it went on longer. But two
owners.
Two previous owners.
And I tell you why I'm going to say this is genuinely a sensible proposition. Well, it's a Japanese import. The Japanese always look after their cars. They're always, whenever you just buy a Japanese import, they're amazing condition.
I'm all for it.
And then it's white with red leather.
Lovely.
And why I think this is actually not a stupid thing and should be thought about, Loads of UK service history maintained by supercar specialist Bell Sport and Classic.
That's amazing.
And
they really know what they're doing.
Exactly.
They sell their cars on piston heads, which is very great.
And you can wear cowboy boots in it. And you won't look stupid because...
And a cowboy hat, and people are going to go like, "You good for you." Yeah. I actually love the C5 Corvette. It's one of my favourite. That and the C6, I think it's so cool. It does look like it's just one plastic piece. It's probably going to crinkle.
We used to have when I was at school. We used to have those plastic moulding machines, the vacuum forming machines, and it does look like it
does look like it just literally came straight out of that.
I've got some other stuff.
Go on, show us what it's probably more likely to be bought by.
Right, so because I like a bit of budget creep, I thought I'd put 55,000 in.
Yeah.
And that brought me to a car that's priced at 53,890. 2011 Ferrari California. Now, weirdly, I'm not a big fan of Ferrari California, but most people do like a Ferrari, and they did sell a lot of Californias. And actually, if you want one, it's done 37,000 miles. It's had no previous owners, a one-owner car, with a 4.3 litre V8, 460 horsepower, and it's a Ferrari. So that's good.
Yeah.
So that's a possibility.
I actually quite like the California as well. Oh wow! I've just seen what you've bought up here. You've got something is. You've got a Maserati Grand Sport.
I did. I said that we could do this all by Porsches.
Yes, you're going in the complete opposite direction.
I'm sure that there was a week where somebody wanted to know about something that was. Yes, it was. It was last week, and somebody wanted to know something for £14,000. I still managed to squeeze a Maserati into it.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Well, it's because I. Oh, look at this. So 2007 Maserati Grand Sport. It's a Spider. This is fulfilling the preferably a hard top. Preferably a soft top. I would personally go for the soft top, but the Grand Sport was a really nicely sorted version of the 4200 and the 4200 Spider. 64,000 miles, one owner, the same engine that goes in the Ferrari.
Yeah, cross-plane crank versus flat plane.
Just a great engine.
Amazing
and
engine.
The Grand Sport was a really lovely version of the 4200, which, despite people's prejudices, was a really good car, but never given the credit it deserved at the time.
Admittedly, you've been banging on about all morning. Yes.
But admittedly, the Spider, not the best version of it, little bit wobbly.
Yes.
Little bit wobbly. But anyway, that's only £32,000, so you can get some people to weld it up.
£18,000 left for fixing it up.
Welding to make it less wobbly. Modern classic. This car is only 5 years old. But it is a Ford Mustang, which already is a classic as soon as it comes out the block. And it's not just any old Ford Mustang, it's a Ford Mustang Bullet. So that means it's in a fantastic colour with probably one of the only examples where I reckon most piston heads people would go black wheels is all right.
I think you're right, yeah. Well, it's black wheels with the silver lip around the outside, which I think fixes a pure black wheel.
And it just works with the whole stealthy Mustang Bullet thing. And that is 10,000 miles, 10,600, one owner, 5 litre V8, 453 horsepower. It's a fun car. I drove the Mac 1. I didn't drive the Bullet, but I think they're quite similar. And I had so much fun in it. It's so good. I drove the Mac 1 at Thruxton. We've already talked about how dangerous Thruxton is.
Oh, God, yeah.
And in a Mac 1,
like
1, when you're really...
Bucking Bronco. Yeah.
But brilliant, fantastic car.
And definitely a future classic.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%
that's going to be a classic. And it's actually, look, I wonder if it comes with that number plate, BJ, I'm not being rude, BJ11 LET. See, Bullet.
Bullet. Great finds there. Great finds.
No, I haven't finished.
Oh, God, right, okay.
The car I would choose out of all of that.
Okay.
Modern classic.
Yeah.
Very pretty car.
Yeah, I think these are aging beautifully.
Yes, one of the best looking SLs of certainly of the actually not one of the best looking SL of the modern era. The 2003 Mercedes-Benz SL AMG 5.4 litre SL55 compressor.
Excellent car.
Brilliant, brilliant car. Fabulous wheels. You can tell it's a compressor immediately because of those wheels. So everyone knows you're driving The pinnacle, bar the very rare 65.
65 is the V12 super rare one.
So bar that, you're driving the Dodge Twitcher.
Yes. Yeah.
The mileage, 38,000 miles, so low enough that when it becomes a proper classic, it's going to be that's good mileage. One owner car, fabulous engine, and the kind if you want a car to go sideways, but you're not super confident, this is a car you could put a toddler in front of or behind us at the wheel of, and they could get it going sideways.
Yeah.
With impunity. You'll never. It's impossible to crash. You just go massively sideways, and then it just comes back all on its own. It's wonderful.
I think they're really cool cars, and I think they're aging brilliantly.
But also really comfortable.
Yeah. For those weekends away.
Really comfortable. Hard top. So
luggage space.
Looks good with the roof up and down.
True.
Got proper
absolutely.
luggage space.
I've got to start off with, I've got an Aston Martin Vantage V8 Roadster. It's the Sport Shift, so it's not a manual, but it is the N420, which is like one of the best of the V8s. It just looks absolutely fantastic in white. It's kind of like the slightly pearly white as well.
That's good.
Soft top roof. It just means that you're going to be right up front for an incredible exhaust note and a great little GT and sports car.
And not to go slightly veering off, but I was never a massive fan of those. I thought they looked really pretty, but they're just not the driving, not the... And then I drove the V12S with the Sport Shift gearbox. Fabulous car.
Yeah.
Really one of those cars where I love being surprised by a car. And Aston Martins tend to surprise me quite a lot because when they're good, I get very surprised.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant. I just thought it was beautifully set up car. And I can imagine that's along those lines. That's a really nice, pretty...
got the same gearbox, so it should feel absolutely delightful. I actually really like the steering in those Vantages, so it was very nice and oily. Oily. But so that's going to be a potential classic. But I thought I would go quite literal on the classic front. I have found... For my sins, I'm going to do the Porsche this week because I can't resist it. Yeah, I'm really sorry. However, there's a lot of 996 turbos that fall into this category, and a 996 turbo is a really good car. I drove the Porsche's Turbo S last year.
I don't like 996
and
turbos.
I was blown away by how flipping fast they are. I was like,
but it's straight. It's one of those straight
line that's
thing.
it.
But there's no pleasure. There's no. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm putting a down. Have you chosen a night?
I haven't.
Right,
because
so I was about to put a downer on your car then.
I still think I was really blown away by them. And then the 996 is kind of one of the generations of Porsche I grew up with, and so I like them a bit more than a lot of other people do. But yeah, I was really impressed by it, but I wouldn't say I fell in love with it. I then drove the 993 turbo straight afterwards, which is absolutely not in budget, but it had 30 horsepower less. Felt like it had 200 horsepower less.
I really thought you were going to go, and I found a 993 turbo, which is one of the prettiest cars, the most perfect cars in terms of proportion ever.
But
you haven't.
No, I've not found a 993 turbo because they are like 100 grand north, at least north of 100 grand.
Very
but I was
pretty,
going to say though, the 993 is my favourite shape of 911. Controversial. I really love the 993.
That's not controversial.
Really? Some people,
really?
It doesn't gel with everybody. No, so this is the Porsche of my childhood. I love the 993.
Do you know why I like the 993 and the 996?
Go on.
When you look at the back of them, it's like following on road an Intercity 125.
I know exactly
which is my
what you mean. The train.
I'm not really a train spotter, but there's something about an Intercity 125.
They're cool.
It just looks really cool. And when you're following
Iconic
behind one, it's
design.
like I'm on the tracks.
Porsche 993. The Express to Penzance. So I couldn't find a 993 turbo within budget, but I did find instead a Carrera 4 Cabriolet, which it's a convertible, it's a manual, but also these things aren't depreciating any further.
I've won this year.
You think so it's between a
this
993
year. This week. Yeah.
You think you've won this week?
The reason being, I love a 993.
Love it. Look at that with the roof down. It's so lovely.
But the problem is, I think the reason why I've won it is for two reasons.
Go on.
I get the feeling that Benno isn't, just by reading his criteria, basically more of everything. More power, more cylinders, more this, more performance. I don't think he's going to want a four-wheel drive car. And you've chosen a four-wheel drive, and also the convertible doesn't look good with the roof up. And I'm not even sure that 911s, I never think 911s suit convertibles with the roof down either. The shape just doesn't suit, especially
I actually think the 993 looks pretty good with a soft top.
No, look at it there. No, it's got a plastic window, and I really... No, it looks like a 10.
I get what you mean about 911s not looking great with soft tops. I think this one looks half decent.
No, when the roof's up, it looks like somebody's put a tent on it. It does. Whereas my car, the SL55, and in fact all of my cars, I would say, all of them, if they are convertibles, all look good, roof up and roof down. Look at that. With the roof down, it's that flat deck.
It does look marvellous.
Mine's like a Sunseeker, whereas yours is like, Jeff's River Cruiser on the Norfolk Broads with the canopy on.
Mine has a delicious flat six and a manual gearbox though, so I mean that's...
It was four-wheel drive.
Yeah, I know, but I mean that's perfect for weekend cruises.
I would have, and it's also got that silly little spoiler around the it's like a handle for people in bathrooms that might fall over. The handle, that kind of. The one that goes around the back, it's stupid.
I would take this any day. So we're clearly never going to agree on this. So what I'll do is I'm going to leave a link to this topic as well as all the other ones that we've discussed in the description of this podcast. You can click on there and just say, yeah, love Cam's choice of the 993. Or if you, for some reason, think that John's done a better job, you go, yeah, I'll take John's SL55.
Don't belittle me and try and curry favour with the audience.
I would never do anything like that.
That's not true.
And what you can also do is go and check out Pistonhead's auctions. We were obviously talking about those earlier. There's, because we're filming these a few weeks in advance, there's nothing at the moment that really fits the criteria for Bennno with 3 N's. But always be sure to check in.
3 N's?
3 N's, yeah, Bennno. But be sure to keep checking in because we have new stock going up all the time. And if you've got something that's premium performance or collectible that you'd like to sell off, just go to pistonheads.com/sell. Hit auctions, fill your details in, a consignor will be in touch. Oh, also, while I've got you, we have a promotion going on with Michelin. You can actually get up to £100 off a new set of Michelin tyres. Just go to www.pistonheads.com/Michelin, fill your car's details in and see how much you could save on a new set of tyres. It'll be somewhere between some money and £100. John.
Yes.
I've got a really good topic for us to sink our teeth into to finish this one off.
Why is it so hot in here?
It's blooming hot.
So hot.
It's roasting. But we're not going to talk about that because we're a car podcast. I'm going to bring... Yeah, apparently so.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to bring up a debate that has raged since the dawn of the motor vehicle. And it's been going on for such a long time, actually, that the oldest thread I could find on this goes back to 2006.
Is it whether to use steam, electricity, or that newfangled liquid thing called petrol?
No, we're gonna save that for another week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and just throw hydrogen in there to see how it reacts.
Obviously everyone
explosive
knows.
results.
Steam is the one.
Steam's the one. That's totally going to go everywhere. This petrol stuff is rubbish. This is basically, it all stems from how do you pronounce car manufacturer names?
Has somebody asked a question about this?
It may have been prompted by some comments.
Whoever
that were made
asked
on a
this question,
recent video.
Really?
Yeah.
Whose video?
Well, it was a thing that I put up about, I said the word Lancia, and someone pointed out that they said, well, it's actually pronounced Lancia. And they potentially didn't do it quite as nicely as that. But okay. I was like, well, yes, that is correct, actually. But if we're going to correct Lancia, then we have to correct almost every other car name that isn't British. And there's even some British ones that we pronounce incorrectly too, because it depends on where you are from in the country.
This is. I've wanted to bring this topic up, but I would have. Yes, it's kind of. I thought this is one of my particular bugbears.
I am insufferable in a lot of ways,
you are.
And this is one way I will become very insufferable.
Do you also have a problem with mispronouncing car names?
No, I don't. But when someone says you're pronouncing it wrong, I'll go, "Oh, really? How are you pronouncing these ones correctly then?" So, I mean, there's literally a huge list that we could bring up. You've got one up here that's pretty significant.
Well, I found this. Yeah. I have just found this, and
we'll start actually with
my one.
Go on. Start with your one that is a real bugbear of yours.
Porsche. Cannot
Yes.
stand people who say Porsche. It
Yeah.
just...
It's a hard one because there is definitely a double standard. There's somewhere it's like with Porsche, you must say Porsche. If you say Porsche, it's disrespecting them because they're such this big storied brand. But obviously in Germany, you can end some with an E as an When you say Nordschleife, do you say Nordschleife or Nordschleifer?
Nordschleife.
I say Nordschleifer.
Because, well, I think the Porsche thing...
I think it sounds cooler as well when you say the Nordschleifer.
See, the Porsche thing... Going back, I'm ignoring you about Nordschleife. But the Porsche thing is... I think it has a hang-up for me going back to the 1980s.
Right.
When people used to wear red Gordon Gecko braces.
I've no idea what that is.
Big mobile phones.
I know what they are.
And filofaxes.
Don't know what those are.
It's like not just a diary. It's like a ring. It's like a miniature ring binder.
Yes.
That has your diary and would have. Actually, what did it have?
See, it was such a long time ago.
It's like the crappiest smartphone. It's like, no, I tell you what it is. We had Nokia telephones.
Yeah.
And then they produced the Apple smartphone. Mm-hmm. Which did everything. So
yes.
You had this one device which just basically did telephone. I know it had games like Snake, but that was crap.
It was pretty dumb.
But then they invented a smartphone that wasn't just a telephone, it was a whole consummate thing that did everything. That's what the filofax was in the 1980s. It was like they took the diary and made it do other things. The only thing is I can't remember really what it did, and because it was like a miniature ring binder thing.
Yeah.
You could pop it open and pop news. They would sell you new. Like it was like an update.
Oh,
it was
cool.
Like there's an update coming for the filofax. Right, okay, yep, brilliant. I shall get that, and you'd pop it in like that.
Yeah,
I've updated my filofax, but I can't remember any of the other stuff it did. Apart from what was it? Diary, notes. Maybe it probably had like your times tables in it or something.
So it's a bit like you can get an old Porsche 996, for instance, take the infotainment system out and get a new Porsche approved Apple CarPlay system and bung it in. Just trying to link why on earth we're talking about Porsches with this whatever filofax thing.
Well, you've lost me there. Right, sorry. Yes, we're talking about Porsche because when I first heard this term Porsche, I thought it was the yuppies from the 1980s with their Gordon Gecko red braces and their wedge mobile phones.
Right.
Because the yuppies had that kind of buy low, sell high, all right, geezer, let's make some mil.
Yes. Yeah,
I don't get out of bed for less than a mil, geez. Thing, Dave. Yeah. This time next year, I'm not going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a billionaire. So
which is a big deal in the 80s.
It was a very big deal.
It's basically minimum wage now.
Yeah, exactly. And they would do all that stuff, and then they would go, and I'm going to treat myself to a Porsche. And I thought it was an abbreviation like Fezzer.
Oh, Fezzer's a terrible.
Which is disgusting.
Oh, it's not.
Anybody that uses the word Fezzer.
Mazza?
Oh, I do that in a more of a comical way.
But Porsche is like an abbreviation.
I didn't realise people thought that was how it was pronounced. I thought that was how there was an abbreviation. Porsche, Fezzer, Mazda.
Yeah.
And then also Bugatti.
Porsche, I've trained myself to say Porsche, and I probably have done for the last 10 years or so, but I for my sins I used to say Porsche. There are some... If we want to be really pedantic, which is why we're here, you have to say so many different brand names differently to the way that we would normally do it. So Volkswagen, Volkswagen is more of an F with V's in German.
There is.
Renault, and the one I'm really bad with, and this is...
But you don't have to do... See, the thing is, you don't have to do the accent necessarily. But you do need... I think it's good to pronounce it. So if you went Renault, then you are going to look like a strange person.
Someone if
you're
command some
in Weatherspoons in Hammersmith.
Oh, that's my Renault Clio.
Yeah. What car have you just bought? This is at 11 o'clock in the morning when you're having 15 pints.
It's my Lancia.
You're on your 15th pint. Yes, I bought a Renault. You could just go Renault, not Renault. It's the Renault. That's what it's like. When the Peugeot thing. I remember being at the NEC in, I don't know, like 1990 something or other, and you nearly fell off your chair. I remember being at the NEC in about 1990 something, and I was it was at Haynes stand, Haynes manual stand, and I was looking at the latest Haynes manuals, and then this person said to his wife, from somewhere north. And I don't know that. I'm only saying that because I'm not sure if that had an effect on Wayne.
I see.
And he went, "Right now, dear, shall we go on and have a look at the Peugeot stand?" And I just burst out laughing. And he looked at me like I was being.
It's the poor man has just mentioned a car that he's seen and has said the name in a way that he thinks it should be pronounced. And you're just like, that's not how you pronounce it. I bet you say Lancia as Lancia as well.
Like the French language is known to be quite beautiful, and Peugeot is very fantastic.
Because even that is like I would say Peugeot, but I think the French way of saying it would be Peugeot, which sounds absolutely marvelous.
Oh, it does.
One of my favourite ones that I've learned recently is that we've been pronouncing Mazda wrong all these years. It's not Mazda, it's Matsuda.
Yes,
that's how they would say it in Japanese.
Yes.
Which, can we all start saying Matsuda? It's so cool. But there's also such a cool way of saying it.
That actually brings me on to my next topic, or the next area of this conversation. Because some people, that's a fair one. You wouldn't necessarily know that, would you? Matsuda. And in the same way that you and I know, and everyone else knows, that if we are talking about some German manufacturer from Munich, for example, it would be, you would say, I have a new BMW.
BMW.
Yeah, exactly. No one would ever. But some people do apparently say BMW.
Oh,
and worse than that, I've heard people say...
That doesn't make any sense.
Worse than that, I've heard people say Bimmer.
Bimmer?
Yes.
BMW and Bimmer. Well, it's BMW.
Very similar to Mercedes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fantastic. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Some people say Mercedes. Like mermen.
Oh, God. That does not sound right at all.
Do you get mermen?
Mermen. Yes, I imagine so. Yeah, probably. There's probably some cartoon franchise out there that's got mermen. But yeah, that doesn't sound right on the ears at all.
And Merc.
Very strange.
So those are the outliers. I mean, let's say. Probably, I would say more people would say Peugeot and Renault, I think, than that. Problem with this topic is we can all get caught by our own hypocrisy. Yes. Because I have my thing about Porsche, and then there are many other ones, for example. And actually, our sponsor, Michelin.
Oh, Michelin.
Is it? Some people would say Michelin.
I feel like that I should actually be saying Michelin because that's how it should be.
I would say
Michelin.
Michelin.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's perfectly phonetically correct, but it's an approximation of what it should be. But it works the other way, because if you listen to an American go Jaguar, it just grates, doesn't it?
My favourite American pronunciation of Jaguar is Jaguar.
Never heard
which
of
is
that.
adding so many syllables in, and I just adore it. I think it's fantastic. And that's one when I was younger. I'd be like, oh, why can't you get it right? And I'm just like, you know what? I don't care. Say it however you want, because I get one wrong, and I'm completely owning this. I say Hyundai, and I think most people have been saying Hyundai for years, but there's such a big brand. There's such a big brand now. You've got to get it right. It's Hyundai.
And also, this is an interesting one, because the thing is, I used to say Hyundai, but then you end up listening to so many adverts, and like you say, the brand becomes a lot more respectable. So therefore, you feel you need to give it the credence that it deserves.
Yeah.
But then I found myself, and I don't know when it happened, but I've mutated to Hyundai. And in fact, my friend Lucy, I said, "Oh, I've got a Hyundai at the moment."
Yeah.
On test, and she went, "What's that?" And her little daughter, who's 11, went, "It's a Hyundai, Mum."
Oh, wow.
And she just didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And what's the other one that's like Hyundai Dacia. See,
Dacia. I've changed to Dacia.
And I think I'm almost going to again, it's the advert, you see. I think I might be going towards Skoda.
No way.
That's
Definitely one I've struggled with. Dacia, I'm fully on board with. Skoda is going to take a little bit of time for me to get around to it, but just do whatever you want. honestly, or just because I really don't care. I don't care how you pronounce it. And I think that's kind of really what we're coming to, is that thing of like, look, it's probably not worth bashing people for saying it one way or another, because we've all got our way of doing things differently.
If anybody can honestly say that they pronounce every word or name or noun in the automotive world correctly,
bet you'll be getting Mazda wrong.
Exactly. So basically, douche is probably the best to shut up.
Yeah, precisely. Which is exactly what we're going to do. That's it for another episode of The Gassing Station, powered by Michelin. I do hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, feel free to leave us a 5-star review and maybe some nice words too. John, anything to end on?
Am I going to be able to swear at any point during these?
Never! See you next Tuesday.